How to style and maintain your pixie cut pixies look effortless, but keeping them sharp takes a little know-how. From stretching the time between trims to making the most of second-day texture. Here's how to keep your cut looking its best without overthinking it. Daily styling techniques on day 1. You're working with the best volume and hold. By day 2, the texture's softer and more lived in, perfect for a tousled look. Usually, a spritz of water or texturizing spray in the morning is enough for a quick refresh. Essential styling products: you don't need a drawer full of products, just the right ones. A lightweight mousse for volume, a good texturizing spray for texture, and a pomade or wax to define the edges will go a long way. Always start small with a product and add more when needed. Proper washing methods: overwashing can strip the hair and make it harder to style. 2 or 3 times a week is usually enough. Use a sulfate-free shampoo and follow up with a light conditioner. After washing, towel dry gently and avoid rough rubbing that can cause frizz. Trim schedule: pixies grow out fast, especially around the nape and ears. That said, you can stretch trims to 6 to 8 weeks with some creative styling or accessories. A little product and a change in parting can hide uneven growth for a while. Growing out phase: growing out a pixie is awkward, no way around it. But it doesn't have to be unbearable. Strategic trims help guide the shape instead of just letting it go wild. Headbands, clips, and even playing with texture can buy you time between stages. The key is patience and flexibility. You're in transition, not in style limbo. Accessorizing options: don't forget to have some fun with accessories. A cute headband, bold earrings, or a stylish barrette can take your pixie from everyday to extra. Scarves can double as head wraps or bandanas when you're in a rush or want something bold. Think of it as more than just hairstyling. Commonly asked questions before the scissors come out. It's normal to have a few questions. Here are the ones people ask most. Will a short pixie cut make my face look fuller or slimmer? It depends on the shape of the cut. A pixie with volume on top and delicate layers can actually make your face look slimmer, while blunt sides might make it feel rounder. How to style a short pixie cut for formal occasions. For something dressy, go sleek with a bit of pomade and a deep side part, or add volume up top and pin one side back with a statement clip. It's super simple but still elegant. How to wear a pixie cut in winter. In winter, layer up with cozy hats or beanies. Just go for silk or satin lining to avoid frizz and skip tight fits. A bit of leave-in or wax keeps things in place underneath. Once you've gone pixie, you start seeing hair in a whole new way. Less fuss, more statement, and way more fun to style. Thick hair pixie for thicker textures. Everything revolves around bulk removal and smart shaping. To keep it light and manageable, a tapered pixie, with some undercut action, would be it. It will also show off the natural density in a flattering way. Curly pixie: don't let anyone tell you curls can't do pixies. Keep some length on the top to let the coils spring freely. And work with your curl pattern instead of fighting it. Wavy pixie waves give a pixie a laid-back feel right out of the gate. A slightly longer top showcases your texture, and a bit of sea spray brings out that natural bend with zero effort. Coily pixie: with coily hair, volume and shape arrive on the scene for a pixie cut. Keep the sides neat and let the top do its thing. Moisture is your styling MVP here. Over 50 pixies are timeless for a reason, and they only get better as you get older. Go for a low-maintenance version with soft layers or a sweeping fringe to frame the face and brighten your features naturally. Modern pixie evolution. Ever since Audrey Hepburn chopped off her hair in Roman Holiday in 1953, she declared the pixie hairstyle fit for a princess. MIA Farrow's Gamin cut in Rosemary's Baby in 1968 added to the Pixies' growing popularity. Back in the day, Pixies were mainly evenly layered haircuts with the same length throughout. But as time went on, more and more varieties sprang up. Look at Halle Berry. She owned every other variety of this style. Spiky pixie hawks, tousled curls, polished finger waves, and an edgy asymmetrical pixie with a massive undercut and bleached bangs. As cutting and styling technologies and products evolve, so does the pixie. Short pixie haircut trends in 2025. Pixies in 2025 are ditching the overly polished look in favor of texture, asymmetry, and lived-in finishes. The trends are less about one-size-fits-all styles and more about tailoring the cut to reflect your individuality. Textured pixie choppy layers are a great invention for fine hair. They create pockets of air within your hairstyle that add volume and an intentionally messy finish to your cut. Asymmetrical pixie. Do you have features you want to highlight? Or features you feel insecure about and want to disguise? An asymmetrical cut will play up the right side of your face. Undone crop iris law is the ultimate poster girl for casual. Laissez-faire crops. Nothing can lower the cool factor of her cut. Take a leaf from her book and embrace the wolfish length, dark roots, or occasional styling imperfections. Shaggy pixie tap into the growing short shaggy cuts trend with its shortest possible variation, a shaggy pixie. Use a flat iron to sculpt pieces of hair here and there. And don't skimp on a texturizing product. Mixie. If a pixie and a mullet had a baby, that would be a mixie cut. Perfect for those who want to keep some length in the back. Undercut pixie. Whether you choose a nape or temple undercut, your pixie instantly earns extra chutzpah points. Even a hidden undercut works this way, because you know it's there. Classic pixie cut variations. There's more than one way to wear a pixie, even if you stick to the classics. Change the length, texture, or fringe shape slightly. And a simple cut can turn into something personal and unexpected. Conservative pixie need to look smart in professional settings. A slightly longer cut with subtle layers is neat around the edges and looks put together. Stick with natural colors for an elegant look. Tapered pixie. If you love wearing chunky turtlenecks and oversized scarves, a pixie taper will look lovely with your fashion choices. A short nape gradually lengthens toward the crown. Balancing the proportions. Sculpted pixie. Keep hearing from your stylist that you have a beautiful head shape. Grant them creative freedom to cut a precisely executed and utterly defined pixie that highlights your best features. Piece-wide pixie to avoid the disagreeable helmet hair effect with your pixie. Opt for a hairstyle with distinct, separated pieces. It will create the necessary volume and movement. Wispy pixie for those who are concerned that short crops are too boyish. A wispy style is a fabulous option. The textured volume, delicate layering, and soft ends create an utterly feminine look. Feathered pixie, the name of this hairstyle says it all. Light and airy layers are delicately tapered to create a lightweight, feathery effect. Pixie cut length options. Pixie cuts come in a surprising range of lengths, from barely their buzzies to longer styles that flirt on the bob territory. Choose the right one based on your texture, face shape, and how much styling you actually want to do. Ultra short pixie, a super confident choice with minimal length all over. You can't really hide behind this hairstyle the way you might with a longer option. It puts you front and center. All over short pixie, a traditional style that leaves your ears and nape open. This cut literally takes minutes to wash, dry, and style. Graduated pixie, a very practical choice that leaves your back and sides neat and has more length on the crown. This style creates natural volume and gives you multiple styling options. Disconnected pixie, want more contrast in your hairstyle? Go for a disconnected style. It looks amazing when dyed. The exposed roots add to a two-tone effect. Long top pixie, this one is for those of us who love styling. Remember, the shorter the locks, the smaller the styling tools. Try a compact flat iron with a plate width of 1/2 inch for precise styling. Stunning color ideas for pixie cuts. A bold cut deserves a color that matches its energy, from soft blends to punchy tones. A pixie makes it beginner friendly to play around with while not committing to a full head of hair. This is the shortcut to your no regret experiments. Platinum blonde pixie. A platinum pixie is sharp, urban, and seriously cool. It brings out the angles of the cut and lends itself well to any textured or choppy style. Just be prepared for copper pixie. If your skin has golden undertones, copper is a no-brainer. It's warm, dimensional, and eye-catching in the best way, especially in natural light mocha pixie. Mocha's the middle ground. Rich but not too dark, warm without going red. It gives short styles depth and softness, along with a polished look that doesn't need much styling. Silver pixie. A silver pixie feels futuristic and fierce, but surprisingly wearable. It particularly flatters cool skin tones and looks great with minimalist makeup. Pro tip: it's a sleek way to flaunt your grays. Two-tone pixie split tones or peekaboo colors can make a short haircut way more fun. Think dark roots with a blonde top or pastel tips with a natural base, bold, but not over the top. Pastel pixie. Lavender, rose, mint, powder blue. Pastels turn a pixie into something dreamy. These shades fade fast, but that's part of their charm. If you like switching it up often, this is your lane. Rich brunette pixie. A dark color brings shine and definition to a pixie. It's low maintenance, classy, and brings out natural texture without shouting for attention. Great if you're going for something more understated. Edgy pixie cut variations. Want a hairstyle with a little bite? These boundary-pushing cuts are made for anyone who likes their style with a bit of rebellion. Shaved sides pixie. This cut dials up the drama by taking the sides almost down to the skin. The contrast between the shaved areas and the longer top creates an instant edge. Geometric pixie. Precise lines, sharp angles, and unexpected shapes define this bold take on the pixie. It's architectural in feel but still wearable, especially if you're into minimalist aesthetics with a twist. Spiky pixie. This one's all about texture and attitude. Just a bit of pomade or wax lets you shape that top into messy spikes or soft peaks. It's the instant energy boost. Side swept pixie. The longer pieces swept dramatically across the forehead give this style a moody, high fashion feel. It's the kind of pixie that looks intentionally undone, like you woke up cool without even trying. Quiff pixie. Think pixie meets pompadour. The quiff adds volume up top, giving height and movement without too much fuss. It's perfect if you like a little rock and roll in your everyday look. Buzz cut pixie. No fluff, no filler, just barely their length all over. This minimalist pixie isn't just striking, it's freeing. It emphasizes your features and shows that less really can deliver more. Pixie cuts with bangs. Bangs are like a multi-tool for your haircut. They soften, sharpen, or add a little mystery, depending on how you style them. And the options? Surprisingly versatile. Side swept bangs pixie. The whole cut feels swoopy and light due to the diagonal bangs that blend softly with the rest of the style. This works great to flatter round faces or wider foreheads. Wispy fringe pixie. Feathery, light, and a bit playful. This fringe keeps your pixie from feeling too structured, adding texture without weight. It's great for someone who is into a more relaxed finish. Blunt bangs pixie. Straight across bangs add drama to even the softest pixie. This combo has a strong editorial feel and puts your eyes front and center. It's sharp, modern, and surprisingly easy to wear. Micro bangs pixie. Baby bangs meet their match with the pixie cut. When the two come together, high fashion follows. They expose the brows and forehead, creating a dramatic and cutting-edge silhouette. Curtain bangs pixie. Curtain bangs soften a pixie most effortlessly. Parted in the middle or swept off to the sides, they frame your face gently and grow out beautifully between trims. Choppy fringe pixie. An uneven, textured fringe adds edge to a pixie without overcomplicating the cut. It's perfect if you want something a little gritty, undone, and packed with personality. Finding the perfect pixie for you. There's no single pixie that works for everyone, and that's the beauty of it. Whether you want to soften strong features, play up your cheekbones, or just cut down styling time, there's a version that feels like it was made for you. Round face pixie. A pixie with height at the crown and side swept bangs lend structure to a round face. Such a hairstyle draws the eye up and out, helping to balance softer curves without trying too hard. Square face pixie. If your jawline's got that sharp edge, a tussled pixie with layers or a fringe can soften the angles a bit. It creates a laid-back contrast that feels easy, not overstyled. Thin hair pixie. A choppy or stacked pixie is a great fix for fine strands. With the right layers, you get volume without bulk. And it'll look fuller even on the days when you need some extra sleeping time or no styling at all. A pixie haircut is a short hairstyle. It is short on the back and sides and longer on top. You can learn the basic steps to cut a pixie haircut by dividing the hair, trimming the back, cutting the top, and blending the edges to cut a beginner pixie. Start by sectioning the hair cleanly into top, side, and nape zones. Establish a short guide length at the back neckline using vertical or diagonal back subsections. Work your way up the head with gentle elevation. Layer the crown. And leave the front bangs for last to customize your desired length. Step-by-step cutting guide section the hair. Part the hair down the center from forehead to nape. And separate the top horseshoe section from the sides and back. Clip these away so you can focus on one area at a time. Cut the nape. Back. Start at the center lower nape. Take small vertical subsections, pull the hair straight out, and cut close to the head shape using a short traveling guide. Work up the sides. Move toward and around the ears using diagonal sections. Keep your fingers parallel to the head shape to avoid leaving bulky weight lines. Leave sideburns slightly longer if you want a softer, wispier look. Let down the top section. Pull sections straight up or slightly over-directed back, connecting them to the shorter lengths established at the crown. Dry and detail. Blow dry the hair completely before doing final adjustments. Cut the fringe or bangs dry so you can accurately see how the hair falls and use point cutting to soften any blunt edges. Can a pixie cut work for fine hair? Yes. You can absolutely have a pixie cut if your hair is fine. Confirms Layla Smith, Kevin, Murphy Key Platinum Educator, Tom Smith, hairstylist and trend forecaster. Agrees, adding, the pixie cut is an amazing shape for fine hair because it will increase the look of thickness in the hair. In fact, fine hair will work to your advantage when opting for a pixie cut, as it's easier to create that slim, head-hugging shape the pixie cut needs, as Tom puts it, than with thicker hair types. The best pixie hairstyles begin with an expert cut. Once in the chair, your stylist can adapt the cut to suit your head shape by keeping the greatest amount of texture in the areas that are the finest, adds Aaron. And they might use a razor to create the cut, as this method of cutting gives the appearance of thicker hair. One of the joys of a pixie cut is the low maintenance day-to-day styling, especially if you have some natural texture to your hair, as the waves stack and create a thicker appearance. For those without natural texture, lean on texturizing and thickening hair products to create this volume. Start by building mass into wet hair with a mousse, like Bumble and Bumble thickening full form soft hair mousse, which will make it easier for the pixie cut to take and hold shape without getting crunchy. Aaron Firmstone, Bumble and Bumble's national lead educator for UK and Ireland, begins. Once the hair is dry, you can use a hairdryer and your fingers, or leave it to dry naturally. Then use a texture spray to create separation, movement and fullness in the pixie cut. This step is key to prevent the hair falling flat. As for creating the right shape, aim to smooth and flatten the sides and back, and create volume around the top and fringe area. Alternatively, a texture powder, such as Kevin Murphy's powder, puff, or a spray wax, try touchable, will add definition. A dry paste or clay-based product is preferable over a gel or cream in this instance, Layla adds. One challenge to note, however, is that you might have to dedicate time to washing your hair a little more often so your pixie cut maintains a full look, says Layla. How to grow out your pixie cut prior to cutting. It's important to have a consultation with your stylist and discuss the long-term plans for your pixie cut. if you're willing to invest time and money into upkeep with regular trims. Then you have more options at the cutting stage. For example, if the hair was cut 1 inch all over the head, it would be very round and grow out in a challenging way, explains Tom. See Florence Pugh's Pixie cut below for reference. Should you tend to take a laxer approach to maintaining your hairstyle, your stylist can plan for this from the get-go. The bigger the difference between the shortest part of the hair and the longest part of the hair, the better a haircut will grow out, Tom continues. You can achieve this by adding a fringe or curtain bangs to your pixie, or by keeping it shorter by the ears. Ahead. The best pixie cuts for fine hair. Ultra short pixie haircut for fine hair. This content is imported from Instagram. You may be able to find the same content in another format. Or you may be able to find more information. Playing to your hair's strengths means adding a piece Y micro fringe to your ultra cropped pixie cut. The wispy, airy texture of fine hair works to your advantage in this shape.